Tottenham till I die, Spurs die hard. Tottenham till I die. Tottenham till I die. Tottenham till I die. Spurs die hard. Tottenham till I die.
Hello and welcome to the Sunday edition of Spurs Diehards TTID. Tottenham till I die. And I suppose we all feel like we've died today in some way or another. I mean, after that dreadful performance, which we will get into, you're going to have to suffer me with a host for a few shows now while Ian's on his holidays cruising around the Caribbean somewhere. So, yeah, but we're going to get straight into it. There is quite a bit to curse about. So first I'll welcome a good friend and part of our group. Callum, how are you?
Yeah, I know we were talking in the green room, and I had a good day up until the game. I mean, I got to meet one of my Star Wars heroes. Well, two actually. I managed to meet two of my Star Wars heroes, Julian Glover and Tamora Morrison, today at Comic Con. So I was all happy, and then came home to a Spurs game. So I think me and you, after being ill this week, it's probably the last thing we needed, weren't it, mate?
Yeah, it's the last thing we needed, but we have to discuss these things. We can't like cut and run or just do shows that suit ourselves when they're good, you know. Well, we've got about 10 of you viewers on various platforms. We've got a few of you in the chat. I'd understand if we get a small audience tonight after the result. People just want to bury their head in their pillows, I suppose. Right, so shout out Brian, real friend in life for me, and his good friend Simon Small, big up. We are Spurs TV, big up. Xavier's better than Eze. Interesting comment. Right, let's get into the banners, and then we'll yeah. Right, well, right, we've got the 4-1. When you see the team, Callum, what was you thinking?
I mean, I was speaking to quite a few people about it, and it's kind of what I expected. I thought that we'd probably have a sort of lineup with a sort of stink the place out game and all that, and that's what the kind of lineup summed it to me. Sum up with stink it out, make it turgid, and then maybe get a breakaway goal. That's what I was kind of thinking with it. But I was surprised about the back five. To be fair, I thought it would be a 4-3-3 setup, which he's gone with. So it was something different.
Yeah, we'll discuss the and variations thereof. And there was a little bit in Frank's press conference that I thought, yeah, when I see the team foot back five, I mean, I'm record. I don't like a back five, but I'm not saying it just because we lost today. I'm just not a fan. But as I've also said in the past, all systems work and they all fail. It's just on the day, you know. So I'll get into my comments on it, though, you know. So, yeah. I mean, we'll talk about it now, right? So, back five. In Frank's press conference, he went, it was sort of a 5-4-1, and that got my ears pricking, right? Okay, yeah. But we see the way we played, all them long balls to one man up front. Surely, if you play a 5, go 3-2, 5-3-2. You know, I know Ian's a fan of a back five. Fair enough, but I don't know whether he's a back five as a 5-2, 3, which it looked more like what was the real intention. I mean, I don't go with Frank's post-match comments actually. 5-4-1, yeah, blah blah blah, yeah. To me, if you're going to do that, there you go 5-3-2. What's the sort of system if you like a back five? What's the sort of system you prefer with that?
Probably a 3-4-3, to be honest. If I was going to go for it, go with standard 3 centre backs with sort of the 4 in there, and then have 2 10s and a 9 if you're going to go with it, to be honest. Have your wing backs as the width, but instead we sort of, by the structure and framework, it looked like you had wing backs on wingers and all that. And
yeah, but what influences Callum is the fact that, okay, that's fine, right? As is 5 at the back with the wing backs, that's fine. Then if that's according to style of football you can play, or on the deck more, or how the opposition allow you to play, so you can always tweak it during the game. I mean, like, to me, 3-4-3 sounds fine, but watching that, us hitting long balls, hoping we're going to win the first ball with one striker up there, and Richarlison. And Odegaard's not tall enough to win headers anyway. He's not renowned for it, and neither's Kudos, right? And I like both those players. I mean, once Richarlison was picked, I thought, we're doomed. Once he was picked,
well, I saw a funny one. One of my mates, Phil King, and another podcaster, he messaged one of our groups, and he went, "Oh, no, it was another Phil that I know." He messaged me, and he went, "What's Richarlison doing in Dublin?" And I went, "What are you saying, mate?" And he took a picture of 2 pigeons by a curb, and I was like, "For fuck's sake, here we go, here we go."
Yeah. This is purely medicinal, this red wine, I go.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that, mate. That's to drown out your sorrows. That's mental, medical.
Helps the throat, right? Yeah, because to me, I'm thinking, but if you're going to, this is why I'm thinking 5-3-2. If you're going to play a long ball, at least have 2 strikers up there. Disperse with the wingers. I mean, because the bench looks strong, which we'll come to. Disperse with the wingers. You can always change it. But have 2 up, so at least one can knock the ball onto the other. And when Richarlison, all they did is kept trying to head it back in midfield. Well, we only really had Bentancur and Paulina there.
Yeah, it didn't really make sense to me.
No, I was about to say that, yeah.
The outlet wasn't there, was it? And you could see from even the starting positions that we had no creative outlet in there. The aim was probably from the wing backs to be that, but when it was so congested, even looking on paper, you've got a back 5 set up with 2 6s in that back 5, so you're hoping that you've got something ahead. But then when you've got Richarlison up front, an Odegaard who can't hold up the ball or take one down, and then Kudos isn't exactly the tallest person either, it didn't feel too balanced to me. That's what I was thinking about the front.
And in fairness, I know Odegaard got taken off and things like that. But look, if you're going to give, again, when we were pushed back, we're passing balls to players in tight situations. You're giving them the ball under pressure. Now, you are under pressure all the time in the Premier League because you don't get that much time on the ball anyway, right? But, I mean, if you're going to give it, I mean, Odegaard's been doing okay recently, and I think he's going to be all right for us long term, but he's not fully developed, let's be fair. And so, like, you're going to try and again, because we're just hitting long balls, what do you expect them to do? What do you really expect? I mean, like, I don't get it.
I mean, could it be that he was thinking maybe that because Gabriel, who's always there to win a header, that maybe we might have some luck in the air, if you get what I mean? But then if you're going to have that sort of tactic or that formation, you want to have someone like a Solanke up front who could take the ball down and then knock it onto runners like Richarlison, Kudos, Johnson, Odegaard. We've all said this with Richarlison. He's not that player. I mean, he was, and I know we'll discuss the game in more depth, but he was doing that all the way through the game where he couldn't knock the ball on. He couldn't take it in the air. And yet we persisted with long balls as well. So it doesn't give us a definitive answer why Frank really went with that.
I mean, if you're going to, even when Frank said, oh, 5-1, won it, 5-4, won his press conference, hang on. That's with wide players. You're hitting long balls forward down the middle. They're missing one of their best central defenders. Then play 2 9s up there. Play Richarlison and Moani to me. If it means that because let's be fair, the 2 wingers didn't have great games. Kudos even, not that anyone played well apart from Vicario. It was our man of the match. But some of the saves he made were fantastic, right? But which we'll come on to later. But so I didn't get it. And all these coach, and I'm no coach, but I've watched football for 6 decades, and I like to think I've picked up a few things along the way. I've watched a few games, season ticket holder for my sins, And I just didn't quite get it. And now let's move on to this a bit. We're going to talk more about the game, but this subs bench didn't look bad. And if you consider without Maddison, Solanke and Kulusevski, we have got a squad to do better in these games. Subs bench wasn't bad at all, really.
Well, considering that how many players we had, we got nearly 8 people back. And remember, we still had then Takai and Davis, who, yes, they're not our be-all and end-all players, but we got 8 players back this week. And it didn't really reflect it, did it?
You like me, though? When we've gone to Arsenal and done well, which hasn't been often, it's been when we've given it a go. And that 4-4, when we nearly relegated, we give it a go. When we won 3-2, we were 2-0 down at half-time. Yunus Kabul gets the winner 3-2. We give it a go. And that's what our fans want. This is like, Frank might say, okay, I get it. If it had worked, the wingates are pushed on, different result and all that. But the other thing that gets me, Callum, is like, we've only played a back 5 against PSG in the Super Cup, which wasn't, we'd like to have nicked it, but it's one of them Ponzi trophies, isn't it, right? Be fair about it. So it's a Ponzi trophy because you've won a cup. You meet a team who's won a better cup than you, right? So it worked, right? But we go all through pre-season, we're playing 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. It's the same thing, really, right? Because you never see that shape throughout of a match when you're watching it. Positions move. And then we play that all season. And then to experiment, he experiments away to Arsenal, of all places to experiment. Now, we've seen us go to a back 5 when we try to see a game out in the last 15 minutes. Thrown on the centre-back, blah, blah, and all that. It was all hands to pump in the Europa League Cup final, wasn't it, at the end, But I think Frank, I'm not going to throw him under the bus. I'll support every manager and player while they're at our football club, whether I like them or not. And I'd like, Richarlison and Basuma gone, and then Davis gone as well, because we need to find room for upgrades as well, But I just don't get why, even though a lot of fan base have been screaming for a back 5, then they need to say, okay, you want a back 5. Do you want it with 3 in midfield and 2 up front? Or do you want a 5-2-3 or a 3-4-3? But if you're going to play long ball football, I don't get this system today.
No, today was the wrong choice. When you look at it, we was piss poor against United before the international break. We then think, okay, we could do a recovery here, or at least give them a game. Today was not the right choice to go with it, because all it does is expose you to your biggest rival, doesn't it, at the end of the day? And we've all, I know me and you have been on social media the last couple of hours. We've been seeing everything that's going around, everything like that. And I know we will cover it later on, but there is more and more talks questioning Frank's tactics, because people will jump on everything that goes on there. And realistically, today was down to Frank's tactics, first and foremost, not working. And he changed it at half time. Okay, yeah, fine. But why even be forced into that in the first place? Why expose yourself to that? And yeah, ultimately today he made himself look questionable. And so many people have questioned why he didn't get a bigger job before this. And this is a question that's going to be asked because the tactics ball didn't work, did it? I mean, I had to question what were they working on this week in there, because realistically, where do we stand? From start to finish, today was wrong, wasn't it? One way or another.
I mean, another way to look at this objectively, right? If we're in a cup final against Arsenal, that could happen one day. That would be a nervous affair for both sets of fans. But is he going to play 5 at the back? I don't think he'd do that in a million years.
No. So why today?
Yeah. I mean, I hate this. Every time we seem to go Arsenal with a team, we go with a negative attitude. We go with a negative attitude or a negative setup. Nuno, Conte, Mourinho. I mean, it's always this negative attitude. I mean, I felt for the fans who went there today, because there's nothing worse than going to an away game. Worse if you're coming back from Newcastle or something like that. But at least give it a go. And at least remedy it halfway. I mean, he could have switched. I mean, we were doing quite well until the first goal. But, then you're thinking, well, is this system going to get us 2 goals? Is it? Didn't look likely, did it? So, to me...
And that's the problem, because, I mean, I've spoken to quite a few fans who went to the game today, and they've all come to the same consensus. The fans were great. Our fans, their fans. Yeah, that's the thing. One man, Army Cutie, that's completely right. 7 defensive players, we still conceded 4. So all the fans were apparently great today, but it didn't change the result. And you have to feel for these fans, because they're the ones that are paying to go on away day ticket all the way down. I mean, I've seen there's been fights between Spurs fans and Arsenal fans. I've seen there's been loads of shit given to us as well, which I think is justifiably.
We'd do it to them if we'd won 4-1.
Oh, exactly.
No, but so they get the bragging rights, but but
it doesn't help us.
No.
And unfortunately, we as podcasters have to sort of sit here and give our views and our digest on it and say what we think's wrong. And I don't think there was one thing wrong today. There was multiple things wrong. That's the problem. When there's 1 or 2 things where you could say it's a mistake here or a mistake there, you can nail it on the head and understand it. But it was bad from start to finish. And that's where it really stunk the place out, to be honest. And even just watching, I had more fun doing housework today than I did watching the game. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I've cleaned 2 rooms, only 2 more to go. Right, not today. To me, it's a negative setup. I don't care when Frank comes to a press conference. I'm not having it, right? Come to a press conference, but it's attack-minded. I get it. I get with wing-backs and a 5, it's attack-minded. But it ain't working. We didn't look like scoring. We didn't have a shot on target in the first half, right? So to me, all right, you concede the first goal. Sorry, take Dance off now. Unfortunately, he has to be the one who's be the sacrificial lamb, and then bring Simmons on. We'll come on to the game and all that in the second half and all that. We were better. We had a lot more possession in the second half, and we were forced to go for it. And it's also the way with us. Why are we always forced to go for it? When we've conceded a goal, I thought it was a negative setup. I think you get him come with the tactics when coaches sit down and say how positive and attacking a back 5 can be. Yeah, when it fails, it looks crap. It looks really bad when you push back, right? For me, it should have been, if you're going to go with a 5, you go a 5-3-2. I mean, that's only my opinion, though. I'm not saying, against other teams, a 5-2, 3-1 wouldn't work, because it does work, But you're experimenting, Frank, away to our arch rivals, the worst game we want to lose to anyway, if not them at home, right? And you're experimenting. I mean, this is BS to me. Look, I think he's a very good manager. I think at the end of the season, we will be singing his praises. because we will finish the season strongly when we get Kula and Slanky back, right? And we know we're going to buy in January. What we're going to get, we don't know, right? So I think then he might be able to change a few things. Excuse me. This got me though. Even our fullbacks, right? They're supposed to be wing backs going forward, right? Are hoofing long balls as well as the centre backs. To no one in particular, this is like ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, Arsenal's not a team to play long balls against, is it? To be honest,
No.
And like you say, there was a lot to be answered for here. And realistically, what didn't help the tactics was because it could have worked, but we didn't have the attitude to control the game. If you are going to go with sort of that formation, you're meant to do short passes to control the game, to open up spaces. We didn't look like we could literally set up a piss up in a brewery today. That's how negative it was. And realistically, we had no control in there. We had 28% possession, and you're playing 7 defensive players in there.
Yeah, that was in the first half. It didn't finish. I'll give you the stats later. Stats were much better.
But in the first half, though, I mean, we was controlling it for a bit. We were stinking the place up, but if you're playing that many defensive players, realistically, you need to have control of the game. We didn't, and that's where my problem comes, because it's too much wayward passing, too much trying to be clever and all that. We were trying too many clever, stupid things. We made the simple things look shit in the first half.
With me, it would have been a 5-3-2, and I'd have started Simmons because he's good on the ball, and he was even finding his passes when he came on at half time. But he's not going to change on his own. Did you think? Oh, where are we? I want to get rid of that. It won't hide it. Why won't it hide this? Don't say my mouse is playing up. Oh, there we go. No, right, now it's clicked it. What do you think of the second half changes? I'm going to go through the game in pretty detail as well, but I mean, what do you think? I mean, half time when Danso comes off for Simmons.
Yeah, the Simmons one was positive.
Right call. I thought it was the right call.
Yeah, but I would have made more. This is my problem, that I think that he tinkers. He's a tinker man. He's not a decisive man all the time. That's the problem. I mean, if you're 2-0 down, you need to make dramatic changes to turn a game around. And I mean, it kind of was summed up by the fact that we brought one person on and we conceded within 3 minutes of the restart sort of thing. But
that was the first minute, it's the 46, but we'll come to that later.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I thought that the Simmons one was positive. The Porro one didn't really change much, to be honest. I didn't think Sarr had much I don't think any of the subs really had enough impact, if you get what I mean.
You didn't see him, did you? I would have brought Sarr on with Simmons at half time if that had been me. I'm not just trying to be a clever hindsight critic, just because of the legs he gives you, and he's got more legs on him than Paulina or Bentancur have got. Bentancur's not had a good week as he got sent off for Uruguay, didn't they? He got spanked by America, didn't they? 5-1 or some shit like that.
And that's not something you hear every day, is it? I mean, they're piss poor as it is.
So, yeah. And then, obviously, as you mentioned, I zeroed on it straight away because Romero picked up his 5th yellow card. So he won't be playing against Fulham. But I don't think that's so biggie. And I'm not too bothered about yellow cards, to be honest, because I like to see we got a bit of grit. Even the one like the pullback on Saka for the yellow. Okay, dangerous position, one for the team, really. It might not have come to anything if he'd beaten this player, Saka, but like he's a dangerous player, very good footballer. And so like you do what you got to do. So I think that was Bentancur's booking, wasn't it? Was it for pulling back?
Yeah, I think it was in the first half
Yeah.
that he got that, and you can see why he came off because he was playing on a tightrope. But I'm like you, I would have rather have seen maybe Sarr come on at half time, bring a bit more balance in there because I think Paulinho likes to have more of a freedom role within reason. He can pop up with different aspects to his game, whereas Bentancur he seems like a passenger quite a lot at the moment within reason. And I don't know what he's doing in training to continuously justify getting in the squad because we don't really see much in the system that we're playing to sort of play to Bentancur's strengths. And I don't think today was a Bentancur type of game either. I think it needed energy in midfield to sort of dominate and control it. When you've got players like Eze in there, you've got Marino in there, you've got Zubamendi in there. They control games. Rice, people like that. Can we really say we had a controlling aspect in that midfield? Not really, did we?
No, because you need someone who's good on the ball, can hold the ball and keep it. You know what I mean? Like Simmons does that job. Simmons, I mean, Roger's made a good point here. Big up, Roger, good friend of the show. We just don't have the personal cope with a team like Arsenal. Their passes slick, their movement is one of the teams we didn't have any plan. I agree and I disagree with this, Roger. I'm not sitting on a fence because I think we've got enough good players to have given Arsenal a much better game than we did today. What about you, Callum?
Yeah, I mean, I think that our squad isn't as good as Arsenal, but I would think that after Arsenal have had Arteta for going on 6 to 8 seasons now, and a lot of good investment. They've got rid of players that they didn't want. He's got his squad now.
Yeah.
We do have a squad capable of giving them a game. Whether we've got a squad capable of winning a game, I don't know, but I do think we are capable of better. But you've got to play to the players' strengths. I don't think today played to any one of our players' strengths, if you get what I mean. I didn't see anything to say otherwise to that point, to be honest.
The other thing where I critique Frank on is you sorted out the back 5, 7. We could pick 7 or 8 players, including the goalkeepers, to play at the back. We know we got a solid midfield too for games in Bentancur and Paulinho. But we know there's been a lack of fluidity between the midfield and the forward three. And when a lot of fans criticise the front three, sometimes I think, well, hang about. I'll critique them if I think they've been poor and they've had good chances and things like that. But if they're not in the game and they don't get the ball, I don't get the fans' criticism because that's a midfield issue. That's a link issue, you know. And if you're not linking up play, and we've not been fluid in midfield to the forward line, we've not been all season. So now you know that. You know you've got that struggle, Frank, and you change the system for Arsenal away. I mean, it just beggars belief for me. I don't get it. I'm not going to throw the manager under the bus because I'll judge him at the end of the season. I'll see where we are at Christmas. Who we get in the first round of the FA Cup the first week in January. And then I'll judge him then because then, if Kulu's back and things like that, I can even see Kulu playing on the right, you know, with Xavi at number 10 or whatever. I can see Kulu playing on the right. Oh, he's got options. He can still play Xavi on the left, you know. So suddenly one player coming back like Kulusevski gives you a lot of options. So and with Slanky back, gives you lots more options as well. You know, so.
Yeah, I mean, I sent a message to someone earlier tonight, and I sent it on one of my group chats with a couple of mates, and a few of them agreed with me. I mean, so many people have called out Frank and for everything he's done, and they're calling for him to be sacked. I've just gone, this is the problem with our fan base. What would that solve? Honestly, don't think anyone will do any better job than Frank at the moment. We know our squad has major growing space, obviously in terms of the young players we've got, but we'll also go major growing problems as well, because there is a lot of players in there who are not designed for this system or what Frank wants. And obviously we knew it wouldn't be solved in one window. Obviously, everyone is so reactionary to 1 or 2 games, i.e. this one, the Chelsea game. And yes, there have been stinkers, but I don't see suicide football under Ange being much better, in all honesty. I don't see Xavi coming in and doing much better because he's going to want to spend £300 million on a load of foreign players as well. So in this moment, what can Frank actively change to get us better? That's the question we have to ask as fans, isn't it?
Yeah. And because we're all hindsight critics as well. And afterwards we can say like, well, okay. But even with his coaching staff and all that, I mean, you can prepare for a game, get your game plan. And on paper, your game plans always look good. Yeah, if we do this and we do that, we'll be great. Well, the game plan didn't work today, whatever it was, it just didn't work. And so, okay. And to me, you shouldn't have started with that, not away to Arsenal. You don't experiment away to Arsenal. I mean, like, you just don't do that. That shows conservatism. That shows caution. Now, you can turn around and say it's an attacking system. Yeah, but that's smoke and mirrors, Frank. We know it's an attacking system, can be effective because we know all systems work and all systems fail, And then in your press conference, one thing I picked up on, which I'm not having, he said, well, look, he sort of alluded to, I can't paraphrase it, can't remember exact words. He said like, oh, well, we finished 17th last season. What the fuck has that got to do with this season? You've come in to improve us. Don't make an excuse like you're trying to like, oh, well, we've lost this game, but it's all right because we finished 17th last season and now we're like 8th or 9th or something, right, in the league. I didn't like that remark. I just didn't like it. I thought like, no, that's an excuse, So let's get on to the game. Right. Scroll down. Three minutes. Eze flick. Rice close round volley. Vicario great save.
Yeah, I mean, when you get into that straight from the start and you see it that within 3 minutes we've got Vicario having to be called into action, it doesn't set the tone right, does it?
No, it doesn't augur well at all. I've gone straight to 32 minutes here because both teams, we sort of cancelled them out. 32, holding back Saka, yellow card. No arguments that yellow card, was it? He pulled him back.
No, realistically, no. It kind of, I think that yellow card kind of summed up the handbags at dawn, didn't it? At the first half, it was all a bit scrappy. The doggy had some run-ins with Saka during that time as well. It was pretty meh, if you get what I mean. It didn't really have much going for it from either teams.
Yeah, I don't mind the yellow cards. Look, you get 5, you only get a 1-match ban. I mean, big deal, up to the 18 games. I don't know. I don't know if there's another penalty. If you pick up another 5 now and you have 10 before. I know if you get 10 yellows before the 32nd game, you get a 2-match ban. That's just on memory. So if I'm wrong, correct me in the chat. 34 minutes. Vicario saves Saka curling free kick. That was a good save as well. For all the criticism that goalkeeper gets, I think he's a good goalkeeper. And there ain't many out there better that are available that we could get anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Big up, Nita. Good friend of the show. King Oddle as well. You all see King Oddle around podcasts. Frank, it had to be 3-5-2. That's what I was saying earlier, King Oddle. If you're going to do that, and then you can have a creative midfielder in the 5. Yeah, I couldn't argue with any of that, King Oddle. Good comment. Go,
Yeah, I think he's calling me out for my little comment, but it's just a personal opinion, mate, on that. But realistically, we like to be level-headed fans. We don't want to berate or blast the club in our views. We try and be very much moderate fans, and at the end of the day, one way or another, we're still going to be supporting Spurs no matter what and all that. Adrian's done it for 60 years. I've done it for 30 years. So we've got between about 90 years of supporting a football club between us. So
I'm not against King Older. I'm not against 2 DMs in away games, like at Arsenal, or when we go to PSG on Wednesday. I'm not against that. But this reason I'm going, well, if you're going to play 5 at the back, go 3 in the middle, let's have a creative outlet. And the only player I've really got there, we know that Simmons can play there. We know that actually Odegaard can play at the 10 as well. But I mean, so we know that he can play there. You've got to have someone there who can have the ball. And he's got such good vision, moves the ball well, Simmons, as well. Sometimes early stages may hold on to it a bit too long, but he can pick a pass, that kid. Here's when we go to come to Spurs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was his day, wasn't it? Eze's day, the hat trick. Yeah. So he'll be an Arsenal legend. And we got hello for BMW. Hi, Pete. Right, back to the banners. I've spelt this Marino. It should be Marino. 36 minutes, 1-0. Marino scoops the ball. Trossard turns and shoots. It did deflect off a VDV in the corner. And actually, I think the shot was on. I'd like to see one of these, like when they do these playbacks and they show you lines. I think that shot was going to go wide if it wasn't VDV's deflection.
Unfortunately, I think I'm kind of inclined to agree with you. I think that it wasn't a bad shot. Every Arsenal fan that I've spoken to at the start of the season said Trossard's got no chance. He's turned into a bit of a diamond from this year, to be honest. He's really stepped up and sort of carried them through it. So, obviously, good on Trossard for that. But, yeah, realistically, with the deflection, it did have and realistically, it puts 1-0 down. But I don't think it was not deserved for Arsenal because we hadn't done anything. They had been knocking through that, and realistically, we have to say we'd been shit up to that point. We had nullified them, and that's the least they deserve.
We didn't turn at all. We got 37 of you watching this on various platforms. Only a few in the chat understand the low support tonight, especially after a loss. People have got their own way to deal with it. Then they've got to face workmates who have bets with and things like that, and take the abuse. If you like our content, please subscribe to the subscribe button that me and Callum can't see in the bottom right-hand corner. Give the video a thumbs up. And you can find us on, we've got a Spurs Facebook group of over 15,500. We've got a WhatsApp group with 3,250. We've got a Discord group. We've got an XCOM group with 3,250. We've got a Discord group, which is small, but that's okay. I archive all my stuff there because it will store it all my posts. So it's good for that. Plus, you can chat in people in their live, and you can use your camera in their live. So at Christmas, I will be doing a Christmas Eve show and a New Year's Eve show because I'll go down my brother's on Christmas Day. Lives about 1.5 miles from me. So I'll go around there Christmas Day. So Christmas Eve, for all the people that live on their own or got no one else to go to, we do a show and we get everyone to come on and they want to come on. We did it last year, Christmas Eve, and we got over 750 people viewing us. And we did it New Year's Eve, and it was about the same. So not everyone's out on the lash, So we'll do that again this year. I don't even know. I think it's a Wednesday this year, isn't it? Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I've freaking got work until 12. Yeah. Work until 12. I've got a buffet with the family. Then I've got Chinese with the missus and all that. And then I'm just going to be getting fat over Christmas. So that's all right.
Yeah, it's a time to put on a few pounds, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Is that our excuse for the rest of the year, though, Adrian, as well?
Yeah. So, it was a good turn on your shot, but to me, I see the deflection. I thought, and it's deflected it inward more than outward. I think the shot, would have gone wide, actually. Or maybe Vicario would have got it. 41 minute, 2-0. Rice recovers possessions. Find Eze in a book. Right footed shot. And that took a slight deflection off of, I think it was VDV again. I mean, if I'm wrong, correct me in the chat.
He was culpable for the second one as well.
Yeah, this was it. The second goal, 41. Like, I thought it took a slight deflection again, and I mean, I'm not going to post the highlights of the game, not when it's them not down the road. Normally, I'll pump all the videos out, but I'm not posting a victory of them over us out there. I normally go and get them, but I'm not. King Aldo had to be Xavi in a 10, and you drop Odobert 10%. Yeah, I think Odobert's been looking good, but in this game, he hardly had a sniff. What's he supposed to do? He was trying to backtrack and win tackles. But like he's not the biggest. He's not as physical. Callum. I was pleased to see your doggy back though.
Yeah, that was good. We've been used. I know a few of us are called for Spence to get the hell out of the left back role. Realistically, the experiment worked for a while, but Udogie is just a stronger left back, at least offensively in there. So that was a positive. I mean, if we're just summing up the first half, I thought that probably Udogie and Kudus were the only two who looked interested in that game, realistically, if we're being honest and all that. So it was good to actually have them two as sort of one or two bright sparks out of a pile of crap.
46 minutes, Simmons comes on for Danzo. I thought, okay, I'm liking this. Let's see if we can salvage something. You know, it was always in the back of the mind when we were 2-0 down and 1-3-2 with a Kabul header. And more wishful thinking at the time. At 2-0, honestly, I probably thought, this game's done. When are we going to score 3? You know what I mean? So, how are we going to score 3?
Could I just come back quickly, mate, just to the second goal? There's obviously been a lot of shouts about this second goal, 2 gunners being offside, being in the way of Vicario's vision, all of that. By the law of the game, it's very 50-50 on this one. And there have been instances where it's been chalked off. There's been instances where it hasn't. And realistically, I think there's merit to both arguments. But arguably, I would say that Vicario should use his freaking eyes and move to do something, because he was very static for that second goal. He didn't do a lot to help it. So I don't think there's enough merit in it, though, personally, to say that it should have been chalked off. I don't know about you, though, mate.
Well, no, I mean, because of the way the game went, I mean, you could say that, because then that's like making excuses. They were by far the better team, weren't they? So, like, let's not make excuses on this. We had one chalked off against when we played against Everton away for the foul on the goalkeeper, didn't we?
Yeah.
And half was saying, like, that's another. Half was saying, oh, the goal should have been given. Half saying it shouldn't, and all that. We won that game, so we don't complain. Let's not complain about this. It's down to the referees to turn around and say, the association to turn and say, well, whether they thought that goal should have been given or not. I'll tell you another thing before we go into this. For the 3-0, excuse my bug, right? Is why the fuck? I mean, this was nothing. It wouldn't make no difference in the game. There was the Arsenal defender. He was climbing all over Vicario. He comes off, and the referee don't even give a free kick. Now, I have some sympathy with Vicario, not a lot. I have some of the challenges he has when he doesn't get a free kick, and they look blatant. But the guy was up in the air all over him. Did you see that one? And Vicario's turned around and looked around the ref, and the ref didn't give fuck all, you know?
Was that the one where Vicario got a yellow card for dissent and all of that from it, for having a go at someone, or was that later on?
I think that was for another incident.
I didn't actively see that one then, but it seems to be a running theme with them, realistically, that there's a lot of decisions where we question it and we think, is it worth it? Is it not? Do they do this? Do they do that? Where do we stand? Where do we not stand? And realistically, I know we could have a whole fucking discussion on VAR and refereeing again, but it doesn't bode well when there's so much inconsistency in these stupid decisions as we go along again. and all that. It goes one way, it goes the other way. A decision could be given last week and won't given this week. Could be given this week, won't be given next week. So I'm so bored of it now that I just let the game go, because it won't change anything one way or another, will it?
No. Once the result's over, just move on. I mean, because I'm a biased Spurs fan, right? But I try to be objective and impartial on the game. I'm biased in a way that I support the club, and I'm biased against social media, against the media pundits and all that out there, because I know most of them like on Talk Shite Radio or Sly Sports, right? So I'm biased against them more than anything else, right? But I like to think I'm pretty impartial when it comes to like discussing games, debating games. And again, you know your day's not going for you when Timber's ball ricochets to Rice, who finds Eze in space. Nice finish, right? Ricardo dived down, but it was well placed by Eze, who's an Arsenal legend now for getting a hat-trick against us. So he's a quality footballer. But you know your luck's out when you concede one like that. Mm-hmm. Then on 53 minutes, it's 3-1. Zubamendi caught in possession, crowded up by Plina Richarlison. Richarlison spots Rare off his line, scores from distance. Richarlison's got this knack of scoring these remarkable goals, but you give that away, wouldn't you, as remarkable goals for a bit more consistency and scoring on a regular basis rather than scoring like worldies, like, you know. It was a lovely goal. Let's be fair, give him credit. I liked it. Raya was flailing to get at it, and it went in over him.
That's the problem, and I don't think this isn't taking it away from Richarlison, but Raya has a habit of wandering. He seems like a wandering keeper. And this is twice in less than 6 months where we've done this to him. Sarr did it to him in pre-season. Richarlison's done it to him today as well. This is more down to goalkeeper fault than Richarlison being a wonder goal specialist or anything like that. And it's like you say, we would rather give up these fancy dabbling overhead kick goals or these late dropping headers and like long lobbed balls for a consistent player who could do it and produce in every other game, realistically, than what he does. And in all honesty, that was the only thing that made me happy with Richarlison's day, because I saw fuck all else, to be honest.
60th minute, Vicario again beat to our Rice free kick. He was the best player today again, like, you know, wasn't he?
We could have lost 6 or 7-1 if it wasn't Vicario, to be honest. And even from that, I don't think Vicario had a great game, because his distribution today was appalling again. He kept kicking it so wayward, it was unbelievable.
What's your take on Vicario coming up and taking them free kicks and the Arsenal fans booing that? But I didn't give a shit about it. I like it. I mean, to me, you've now got 10 outfield players. If you've got an outfield player taking that, you've got 9 outfield players. To me, percentage-wise, we see like Everton do it, Pickford does it, we see other goalkeepers do it. Every time they get a long free kick, I mean, Everton did it, a pullback, a 2-goal deficit against us in 1 year, a few seasons ago. Mm-hmm. Pickford come up and just kept, humping the ball forward. So it didn't come to anything, but it's certainly unsettling for the defenders. What's your take on Vicario taking those sort of free kicks?
I think it's more down the fact that hardly any of our players can actually take a bloody free kick. That's sort of where I'm coming at it from, because obviously Porro wasn't on the pitch. He seems to be our free kick specialist at the moment. Realistically, I don't mind it, but I think it puts us under more unnecessary risk than we need to be honest, because we seem to have a real habit of letting turnovers happen very bloody quickly. That's what I think. I think it exposes more issues than it helps.
Yeah, I'm not against it. I mean, I'm for it, actually. I've got to admit, I'm for it. I mean, And the other thing, I mean, I wonder whether like the plan the backfire was the fact that Frank, let's get Danso into the game. We might get a goal from a throw in, and that will happen. It will happen eventually. So I think that's another reason why they went with the back 5, included Danso personally. Then we make our next subs are now. I thought they were late anyway. 66 Mamani for Bentancur and Sarr for Odebert. When you bring Sarr on, you know what you get with Sarr anyway. So Odebert was relatively quiet, wasn't he? I thought Kudus was quiet as well. He tried, but he was quiet as well. Well,
yeah, I mean, me and you, we look at the game in a whole, and realistically, these subs had little to no impact on this game. If we're honestly saying it, it doesn't matter what time they came on, they had little to no impact on it, and they might as well have just stayed on the bloody bench, realistically, because it made no difference to us whatsoever.
Yeah, King Older, we just skipped over this really, because otherwise it sounds like excuses, doesn't it? And them lot were the better team. No two ways about it. So yeah. Exactly, pre-season repeat.
That's for the Richarlison lobbing, Raya.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Right. 70-minute. That was when Romero's yellow card was. He sent his 5th yellow card and he misses the next game, which will Premier League game, which will be about Fulham. Yeah, I'm not too bothered about that. Danso just walk straight in, won't he? Unless Dragerson's fit. And then Dragerson might get some late minutes if we're doing well against Fulham.
Yeah, I'd say that we might see. I don't think we'd see Dragu yet. He's still a way off, and I think that.
Well, apparently he's very close. As his
yeah, no, he is back in training and all that, and he's played obviously that pre-season game, but I think we are still a way off yet, realistically, to seeing him fully back in a Spurs shirt, if you get what I mean.
And Decky's on grass, so I don't think Decky, I think if he's on grass, if he's like superhuman like Porro, which he virtually is, I wonder. They're talking December. I'll go through the fixtures later because I was thinking like good chance.
I'm thinking Christmas week. If we're going to see him, we're probably looking at Christmas week.
I just want to have a look at the fixtures coming up because when is right? Okay, I'll bring the fixtures up later anyway before we finish. But December, Saturday, 6th of December. It's not be Saturday. Sorry, no. Tuesday the 9th of December, we got Slavia Prague. That's the time to put these players in that are coming back from injury. Right, so, yeah. So that's the 70-minute yellow card. Banners again, scroll down. "72 minutes, Vicario saves another curling effort from Saka. You did well to get to that one as well. And then 4 minutes later, Trossard assists Eze for his hat-trick. Then,
it had to be, didn't it? It just had to fucking be.
Then 78-minute Johnson's for Kudos, Porro for Spence. He could have made subs earlier. Like you say, you didn't see anything of Johnson.
No, Johnson had no impact, and if anything, Porro's substitution made it freaking worse for us, to be honest, because they just started hammering the right-hand side. He was just getting caught out of possession, and realistically,
I think he was only went over to the fans at the end of the game.
Oh.
Well, they'd have got dogs abuse the players that have gone up to the fans anyway. 4-1 now. You're gonna get it. So don't go. I mean, I get that. Porro yellow card, so it didn't take him long. Vicar after a Saka cutback because Eze broke on the right, didn't he?
Eze had the chance to get another 2 to 3 goals.
Yeah.
That just sums up this game. That I don't know whether we down tools or whether we, because he was good. He was very good. And I know over the summer, myself, you, Ian, Tom, we was all saying Eze's a great player, Simmons is a great player. Who do we want and all that? And it was very much split between it. And I've always been a big fan.
I wanted Simmons. I wanted Eze over Simmons only because Eze's homegrown.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, like Simmons is younger.
Yeah.
Right? And we've got an outstanding player in Simmons. I've got no qualms. He's going to be a star for us, right? But, yeah. I mean, Eze does this. He has this purple patch where he's outstanding. And even at Palace, even when he looked good in games, then you don't hear about him.
No.
You know, it's a bit like when Ward-Prowse, all you heard about Ward-Prowse was when he scored a wonderful free kick. Apart from that, you never heard nothing about him. Everyone was rating him as a £60 million player. I said, like, don't be fooled just because he's a free kick merchant. It's outstanding, yeah. So we could go on about this was the stats, believe it or not. The first half was totally different. This is why stats can confuse you because they mullered us first half. But we made changes. We were better in the second half. They had 57%, they had 43. Yeah. But in the first half, it was probably about 70-30.
Well, shots, yeah, we had 28% in the first half. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Shots on target, they had 17 of our 3. Yeah, and 8 to 2 would have been on target. That would have been on target, right? So fouls 11, we committed 15. They had 4 corners. Tackles 21-22. Look at the clearances 17-32. Look,
that's a joke.
I mean, the tackles. Look, when Frank says we'll press, don't get me wrong. We pressed in that game. We didn't do anything with it. We pressed like mad, which is good for other games. Interceptions 11-7. Passes, look, 4-4-2 accuracy. Well, we know their passing was more accuracy. They won the game. Crosses had 15 to 7. Yellow cards 1-3. It's just that, clearances says it all. Game management. We've really well discussed Frank, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Right, question for you. Should Frank abandon the back 5 against PSG?
Yeah.
I think if you start your pre-season, I've said it, I'm repeating myself like a worn-out record here. You play 4-3-3 all through the pre-season. I know we played PSG in the Super Cup. You play all your league games 4-3-3. The only time you drop to a back 5 is to try to see a game out, and then you experiment away to Arsenal. I don't get it. I'm not throwing Frank under the bus, though. I think he's a good manager, and I think, he better be learning from these games that have gone wrong,
Well, you hope so, and I mean, he's got enough young coaches in his coaching setup to be able to do it, and he's got Wells, he's got Jorgensen, he's got Cochrane, and you hope, and we say this continuously, we hope they look at these games and think, what can we do differently? PSG are a 10 times better team than Arsenal. Simple as that. They are the best team in Europe at the moment, and we cannot poo-poo saying that we will have an easy game, because I very much doubt we will have anything easy our way. Simple as that.
They've got a few injuries, though. A few important injuries. I mean, we know they've got a fantastic squad, though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But just on fixtures coming up, I'm only going to mention one transfer room because we're going to finish shortly, guys, because I've got to go, and we're both bugged up anyway. Right. But we do this because we're stalwarts, right? We're not going to,
We're not going on holiday to the Caribbean.
The proof of the fact is, if we can do shows when we lose away at Arsenal, we can do shows when we lose to away at anyone. We ain't going to run away from any difficult conversations, right? So PSG Wednesday, Fulham Ramirez banned at home. Then Newcastle away. They've just beaten Man City. They're in form at the right time for us.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Then Brentford at home. This sort of hit and miss. They should survive. Actually, done well considering the amount of players they've sold. Then we got Slavia Prague, right? I'd expect to see a few changes in that game. Maybe Dragusin get a game.
Is he actually in the squad? I can't remember whether he.
Oh no! Sorry, no, he won't be. He can only be added in the January squad. No, he's not in the squad, so he's not getting a game. And Takai won't be either. This is the challenge for Ange in January. If Kulu's fit, someone else has got to drop out. And if you bring in, Rodrigo, or you bring in Lookman, or you bring in, I'd like Akliouche actually. I'd like to bring him in. Then
it's definitely going to be a challenge for Ange, mate, because he ain't been there for 6 fucking months.
The bug's got to me. I still haven't cut that umbilical cord. Right, so yeah. And then we'll see how our form is then if we picked up, because if we get spanked against PSG and we beat Fulham and we beat Brentford or whatever, and Slavia Prague, then we got Forest, who got a great win at Liverpool. But a lot of these teams win one, they lose one, they win one, they lose one. And then we got Palace away, which is tough. We've got a very good record away at Palace. I know we lost a couple of games over recent seasons, but we've had a lot of 1-0 wins at Palace in the past.
We've had some cracking goals at Palace as well, haven't we? We had the Dele Alli special.
The Dele Alli turn and smash, volley, yeah. Right, I'm going to thank you all. We're going to talk about one transfer, but just give you the 45 of you viewing us on various platforms. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe if you like our content, of course. The button's in the bottom right-hand corner, red subscribe button, hit that. If you like the content, please give the video a thumbs up. Spread the word about us as well, please. And want to thank you for your support on your various platforms. Want to thank everyone in the chat. Thank everyone in the chat for their comments. Big up to everyone watches on playback. And I don't want to talk about them before we go because it's just come up recently. I haven't got the player's name. And my mouse is playing up. So I'm going to ignore it. It won't hide this for some reason. No, it did that. Right. All right. Something's got. Right. So I won't have to bring up transfer rumors. It is rumoured that Nico Williams is going to be sold. And they're talking 70 million euros, which is 62 million quid when you're talking wages. So naturally, us and all other clubs have been linked with him. I don't see this deal happening. I think he'd probably go after Barcelona or Real Madrid. But if they've got the money, of course, they all seem to find it. But he's the only latest one I've looked at recently for 62 million. Yeah, I would take him, and I'd also pay if it's true about Semenyo's release clause. I would hit it first thing in January, just to see what other clubs like Liverpool spent a fortune or Arsenal spent a fortune, rather than wait till summer when it's a set of New Year accounts for all these clubs and they can buy again, Callum. You know what I mean? So if we're going to go for Semenyo, and I'd love him, I'm sure we all would. He's proven Premier League. I would still, if we've got this 100 million, I'd still go for fucking Nico Williams as well. I really would. I'd go for the pair of them. And if not, I'd go for Semenyo and Akliouche. Because I think you can get Akliouche for probably 40, 45 mil. So we could do both those deals. And he played well against us for Monaco, didn't he? When we were away there and got the draw. So you got any comments on those, Callum, before we finish?
I mean, Williams, I think, is a big risk, and he's on about 300 grand a week. So I don't think the wages would stack up to what we do. Semenyo
on that,
yeah.
just on the wages thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? I mean, I don't know. You'd be no more about this than me, but isn't there a way with some players with wages if you're bringing them in? If you don't want to break your wage structure, I don't know what a top wage structure is now with Romero, right? Maybe it's 200k, maybe 220k, could be 250k. I don't know, right? But if it's 200, 220k or something like that, and Romero's VDV is going to get parity, right? Which he should, right? If you want to hang on to him, you do that. That frightens off clubs later on coming in because most of them out there, unless you're Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG, Bayern, you're never going to be able to afford a player like VDV, right? But isn't there an argument to say that, okay, you get this player in, but you say to him, well, we can't pay you 250k a week. Our top earners on 200 or 210. We'll give you that, but we'll give you a £5 million signing on fee or a £10 million signing on fee to cover that extra additional wages over your contract. And so to other players at the club, you don't get them coming at the door, oh, he's on 300k a week, I'm only on 250. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. And because of not being in contract negotiations, I wouldn't know how that sort of always impacts it. But realistically, I mean, Williams' agent is a bit of an arse. He likes to have a massive pay-on fee anyway out of that. And I don't think Spurs would abandon their wage structure for someone like Williams, if you get what I mean. He's not the finished article for definite. I don't think he's been great this year, to be honest. He's not sort of set the La Liga stuff alight either. I think there are better players out there, in all honesty, to be honest. I think, like, if we could get Semenyo, that'd be great. If we went for someone like Iliman Ndiaye, that'd be great. And I know I shared some names the other day. Nusa, Fofana, Semenyo, Ndiaye, Al-Khalouch as well would be very good. The problem with Al-Khalouch is he plays more centre attacking mid, and we've got Simmons, Maddison, and Kulusevski in there. So you would have to probably put him out right.
Then Kulu and Kudus would vie for the right wing position.
Well, that would be the hope and all that. The problem is that I'd like us to move for, well, we know we have glaring issues, and I don't think Paulinho is the option for us going forward. I don't think a left back has been addressed yet either. The left wing role is definitely there. And like you say, if you want to do intent, you move for Semenyo. If you want someone on the rise, you then move for Al-Khalouch. If you go and scraping the bottom of the barrel, you then probably move for Fofana. If you get, what I mean.
Surely, Callum, surely we aren't looking for a centre back. I mean, Vaskovic is smashing it in the German league. His next step up is to be integrated in this squad in the summer, isn't it? I mean, and we don't know what we're going to get out to Kai and even Dragerson yet. So unless it was an outstanding left, I would have loved Hincapi who Arsenal got, right? But unless it's an outstanding left-footed left back who may or may not be able to play left back, we know we need enough. Right? Unless we get a left centre back in that can play at left back or whatever, but we don't really need. We still got Ashley Phillips and like Dorrington out. You know, Dorrington's at Aberdeen. Phillips is playing at Stoke, even though Mate's not getting a game now. So.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, the next step for Vaskovic is the club are offering him a new deal. They want to open talks with him and all that because they've seen how.
But he's got a contract to 2030. He couldn't sign. His birthday was at the end of February this year. That's why he couldn't come in January, right, and be part of the January squad. So he was like 18 in February. 18. People got to realise this kid's 18. And he signed a contract to 2030. So we've got him for, I've got all the contracts on banners here because I'm boring like that, right? But the other thing I wanted to ask you about, because this to me, just logically, and we'll finish on this. I mean, Guay, right? And Vlahovic, because the reason I paired them together is because they're both out of contract in the summer. Now, if I'm one of those players, there's a lot been talk about Guay at Liverpool. All right. What I'm about to say could miss the opportunity of Liverpool if they get someone else in January. But if you're a player with 6 months in your contract or 7 or 8 months, whatever it is, and you're Vlahovic as well, You ain't going to sign for another club in January when in the summer you can command a great big signing on fee, are you?
Unless you can get something where it's going to be the biggest deal or the biggest move of your career. Like Gahey could be a Liverpool move. Okay, I understand that. Yeah. But Vlahovic ain't going to go to a Real Madrid or a Barcelona. The teams that are poking round Vlahovic at the moment
are us.
No, not us at all. We don't want him.
I like
it. Yeah. If anything, the teams that are floating around him at the moment are freaking West Ham and Nottingham Forest. They're the ones that are going for him. All the ones that are struggling.
And I don't know the fat Greek at Nottingham Forest situation regarding wages on his players. There's no way West Ham are going to be able to pay Vlahovic's wages, right? That's not happening. So who knows? I mean, like Lookman to me seems a bit he's always having issues and all that, and I don't want a problem player at our football club. And even if they're mouthy problem or lazy problem like an Ndombele, you know what I mean? So like, yeah. So we'll see. I mean, we know this is the season. The transfer rumour was going to really like ramp up now.
It'll kick off in the next 2 weeks.
It's going to ramp up now because like it's getting close, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, we're nearly at the end of November and like it starts on the 1st of January to 30th. So yeah, well, I haven't got nothing else unless you've got anything else you want to bring up, Callum.
Only a good win for the 18s yesterday. They beat Derby County to go through to the PL2 Cup. So very positive group there. And I'm really happy with them because considering that so many of the players stepped up from the 18s to the 21s, like Thompson, Williams, Barnett, Byfield. These guys have all stepped up from the 14s.
Malachi Hardy plays for them, doesn't he? Iro plays for them, I think. There's the Boast who we got off of Leeds, Oliver Boast. He scored, didn't he?
He's class. He is someone I'm really happy with. They've got Harry Byrne.
Mason Melia yet from Ivans and Pats.
That's someone who I think will have a real shot.
You get them players. I mean, I go back to Stan Bowles and all that had got tricky feet as a forward, and players like Rodney Marsh, I mean, this Mason Melia, he's got something about him with his feet. He's quick. This guy's quick and he can slip players and all that. But we're looking at all these players we've got out on loan, and like they're all going to have fantastic careers. If we can get. I mean, if I wished 4 of them could come through and be in our first team squad, it would be Mikey Moore, Lancashire, Donnelly, and Vuskovic and Divine as well. I mean, like, I liked Divine before all the others getting mentioned, but then he lost the season at Pompey or whatever it was when he was in play. Change of managers. Excuse my cough, guys. Right. We are done. It's a shame because we've got 50 viewers on various platforms now. But we haven't got much to talk about. I will do a show Tuesday. We might have to cover a bit of a transfer window and the preview of the PSG game. I don't want to do it. If the Champions League game was on a Tuesday, I would do a post-match show on a Wednesday. But I won't do one on a Thursday because we do a show on a Friday. It's just like, and that's back-to-back shows virtually. So I will do a show Tuesday. See if I can have some guests to do a preview of PSG. And it's good to have football back, even though we lost. And yeah, so and some latest transfer rumor bullshit as well Tuesday. So yeah, but we have to discuss it because it beefs the show out really. Otherwise, we've got nothing else to talk about. Unless we're still all waiting for the. We were told that in November, this isn't happening to Cynic and me. We're going to get the verdict on Man City's 115 plus charges. I don't think that's happening to the end of the season, personally. If it happens any earlier, I mean, like, we shall see. In Chelsea,
is it even in their interest to announce it now? That's the thing. There's so many other things going on in football. It's World Cup year. They're not going to want to drag all of this up.
Oh, well, you just hit the nail on the head, really. World Cup, I think, starts June the 11th, right? Next season starts a week later for those of you that are interested. See how boring I am. I go into all this stuff. Right. And if you're going to drop something nasty about Man City, you're going to drop it when there's lots of other shit going on, like the World Cup or something like that, right? Do it then. Like the government do or whatever, whenever they want to do something and disguise it. So it'll happen then. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. With that, we've got 5 comments. I will go through the comments, guys. King Oddle saying, yeah. And they actually lost Sunderland, so they might start drifting down the table as the cream rises to the top. Yes, Alan, disaster. Couldn't have been worse. Yeah, no, I don't think we're doomed. I think with the squad we got, with everyone fit, we're still capable of finishing from 5th to 7th. Because there's a lot of inconsistency. I mean, like, who would have thought Liverpool spending all that money would, be where they are? And even Newcastle only just started getting going, and Villa. All good news for us, of course. Right. You could see the heart was not in it today. I think the heart was in it. I think the heart was in it. We just weren't good enough. Yeah, he misses Fulham. It's only a game. Yeah, good time to bury bad news as a phrase. Yes, King Honor. Right, Callum, thank you for coming on as a stalwart, especially if you can suffer coming on 4-1 away to them lot down the road. You're a stoic like me.
Yeah, you can bloody do anything if you can survive that game, to be honest, mate. Let's put it that way. So no, pleasure for being on as always, mate. And hopefully we have something nicer to talk about the next show that I'm on.
Yeah, I'll see you on Friday, Alan, on a Friday show. I'm going to end the stream with a nice bit of soul music that I wrote.
We are talking.